charge our batteries. And so grateful for the servant hearts that are here this week. You guys have given so much, and you just keep giving. And I talk about it too long, it brings tears to my eyes. I choke up, so I'm not going to, but I just love you so much. And I love the Lord, and I love you for loving the Lord. And Jason has a 13-hour drive in front of him. Let's pray. Let's pray that God's traveling mercy will get him home. And then he's going to turn around in June, come to Roanoke for our AMC. And so we encourage all of you, if you have some time and you want to help another congregation, go to amc.housetohouse.com, register for Roanoke. Caleb Rutherford is there, along with Joey Davis, and it will be an exciting campaign. There are people coming from all over. That we have advertised and advertised. This campaign was put together in about 6 months. We've been working a couple years on that campaign, and I think it's going to be really, really good. So we've got a lot of work to do this afternoon, and there's a lot of work to do tomorrow. And one thing I said to Joe just a little bit ago, we will not leave you and say good luck. We've got a very organized transfer process to transfer AMC over to the local church. I'll be meeting with the elders, meeting with Joe tomorrow. We have special meetings planned during the day to make sure that happens smoothly and to give them a path forward so that you don't drop the ball. So we don't want all this work to go to waste. We also understand that not one person can do this alone. So we're not going to say, Moses, good luck. We're not going to say, Eric, good luck. We're going to use the resources of the membership in order to move this forward. And I encourage the La Plata Church and the Waldorf Church, keep working together. Don't make this a one-time event. And you guys are stronger together than you are apart. And so that certainly is the unity of the Spirit and the bond of peace. And I'm just so thankful that we haven't allowed personality differences, the past, or any other matters to be sown as seeds of discord, but we've used the blood of Christ to unite us together and the cross as our motivation, and look at the great good God can do when we work. Look at what he can do when we can get past ourselves. So that is so important. And in any case, we need to do some training, and I'm going to cut the class a little shorter just for time's sake, but I promise I'll give you what you need. New Movers is a very unique work. And when I first started with House to House, the School of Evangelism, Alan asked if I could, not just focus on evangelism, but also, teach churches how to use the resources of House to House. So I thought I knew the resources. I did not. I just thought they had this magazine that I had used successfully to baptize a lot of people. I had no idea there was a New Mover. So New Mover is one of many tools House to House provides the church. House to House will do a website for free for your church, which is for many churches a great blessing because it's resource allocation, it's financial, and we just do it for free. House to House provides, in addition to that, a New Movers list. So when you are enrolled getting the magazine, you got to print it once a year. That covers the cost for us to go out and buy the addresses for you. We have a contract with the company. So let me put some myths aside. No, you cannot go to the Chamber of Commerce and get that information. All right, our country is no longer the country you grew up in. There's so many laws and so many hoops, so many regulations, they will not give it to you. No, you cannot go to the hospital and ask, for a list of people that are there. It's called HIPAA. They will not give it to you. I understand. We want to pray for them. We'd like to see them. They won't do it, okay? There's some communities we can't even get into anymore. So, but there is no law that prohibits us from getting the addresses of people who move. You know how I know that? Ask Home Depot. Ask Lowe's. Ask Ace Hardware, who send you this little card, 10% off. Come to our store. You've just arrived. Welcome to the community. The next day, they'll one-up it. Lowe's, 15% off. Come to Lowe's and get your paint and get your tape and your cleaning supplies. So they're always looking for a way to get people into the community. And so, if you owned a business, and Jason would have been a great example. He owns this fencing company. And I'd say, hey, Jason, I'm going to pretend he's right there. I'd say, hey, Jason, if I could give you the list of everyone that moves into Collinsville and Troy area, I give you their address and the name, would you want that? What do you think he'd say? Yes. If you own a dental practice, would you want it? If you own a store, would you want? Of course you want that information. Because when people move into an area, they don't have plumbers, electricians, stores. They're not rooted towards one. Like, that's my grocery store. I'm not using another grocery store. I don't care what happens or whatever, because that's the one I use. They don't care. So whoever gets to them first has got a pretty good shot at getting them to come. So the same is true with churches. So this is not the era of your parents anymore. When the Methodist moves from Washington, D.C. to La Plata to Waldorf, they're going to be Methodist. They're going to a Methodist church. They're not switching. Okay, that is not true anymore. Okay, for the millennials, for Generation X, and some the Zoomers, all right, they move from one place to another place. They don't care where they go to church. But some of them want to go. Where are they going to go? Well, who reaches them first? And do you know what to offer them? Well, we do, and we're going to. And we're going to reach them before anybody else gets to them. So I don't know of any other group that does this. We don't know of another group that offers what we offer. We will give you their name and give you their address. Not only that, in your folder you have house to house, heart to heart. And we got a lot of these up here. The reason we order so many is because we give them to you and they're not dated. You can use these for the next 10 years as a door knocking tool. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to print what we call the New Mover Edition. It's called the New Mover Edition. It is a special edition just for new movers. It's like, what would you want if you were a new mover? We provide it in that magazine. We're going to mail it to them. Then we're going to wait 2 weeks. And then we're going to mail them a postcard that invites them to come and be at your church, invites them to come and visit. It's going to have all your information on it. When they read it, they have no idea that a third party printed it and created it and organized it and designed it and mailed it. It's all you. There's no other information but your information on there. We will do that for you. So if you get let's say you use a round number, you get 25 new movers in your area per month. Okay, you got 25 moving in. And we know exactly how many are moving in. You are loaded with new movers here. Overwhelmed with them, okay? We can draw a map. We can take your church building, put a pin, and we can draw a map around your church. You tell us where that map is. You can tell us highways, roads. You can make it look any shape you want. And then we're going to bring it up. How many do we got? And say, let's say we use the number 25, okay, which is low for this area, but I need a round number. What's it cost? All right, it's going to cost us to mail and print an 8-page color magazine and pay the staff. It's going to cost us to mail and print a postcard. It's going to cost us to buy it from that company. How much do you think it costs per new mover? And if you know the answer, don't spoil it for others. What do you think that would cost? Now, Tucker, you're a free guy. You're going to school. You're an educated man. Okay, so we're going to print, design, pay staff for a postcard for an 8-page color magazine, and we're going to pay the company to get the information. What do you think that costs per new mover? $5. If I did not know, I would say $5. Okay, it's $2. Guys, you can't buy a French fry for $2. Okay. So when I'm with elders in private, and I have very candid conversations with elders, and they like that. By the way, if you're respectful and they respect you, they will have candid conversations with you. And I always tell elders, that is a no-brainer. And they say, yes. I've never had an elder, no, we don't want to do that. I've yet to meet that eldership, okay, because this is obvious you should be doing this, all right? So, you draw the map, make it 50, 100, it's pretty big here. So even if it's 100, that's $200 a month. All right, talking $200 a month. All right, so this is very, very good tool. Now, once we get that information, okay, we do our job. Our job is print, mail, print, mail. What will you do? Some of you do nothing. You do absolutely nothing with it. Even if you do nothing, you still may have them visit. Okay, they still may come because we're printing and we're putting that into people's mailboxes. But if you do your job, you will get much better results. What's your job? Go see them. Go say hello. Give them a gift. That's what these are for. These are new mover baskets. In other words, welcome to the community. Now, I mean, just a simple welcome. Just to say, how are you doing? My name is, Elliot Asbury. This is my wife, Patty. And we've grown up here in the Shenandoah Valley. We've lived here a long time, and this is a beautiful place. We'd like to welcome you. We know you just moved here. Is there anything we can do for you? Oh, by the way, my wife Patty put this little basket together. We do it with our church, and it's just a spaghetti meal. Hope you like it, and you hand it to them. We use the spaghetti basket for a couple reasons. One, we tested it, which means we went into the field and we examined the results, the reaction. What do you get when people get it? We get the best reaction from the spaghetti basket over any other. We have a pizza basket, we do. We have a cleaning supply basket, which drops off considerably. But in Texas, this is interesting. In Texas right now, we're experimenting with the salsa basket. And it's homemade salsa. It's HEB chips, if you've not been to an HEB before. And so it's okay. That's their grocery store. And anyway, so it's a salsa, and it's really hitting. It's really hitting. So we'll probably make it location specific. If there's something here in Maryland that you think works better than it's okay. But we know that you pretty generally get good results with this. So we're going to welcome them and give them a gift. Now, if you welcome someone as their neighbor, hey, I'm your neighbor. I know you just moved in, and we would like to welcome you to Waldorf. And my family's been here for 44 years, and we love this community. And we just want to say, hey, by the way, where'd you guys come from? Oh, really? Well, is there anything you'd like to know about? I could tell you about where to find things. You need a painter, electrician. I could share some. I mean, there's so much you can do when someone moves in. And it takes a grouchy, angry person to yell at you and to say no. It just does. They're out there. We all know them, okay? But it's really hard not to reciprocate your act of kindness just with a smile. It's just hard. Because you're there to help them. You're there to say hello. You don't want anything from them. We don't want you to pay us anything. We're not here to sign you up for a membership in some club. We just want to say, welcome. What is the purpose of delivering a new mover basket? What do you want? You want to make a contact. That's it. Remember David Shannon said it's the 10-yard pass that we somehow have missed because we want to throw the Hail Mary. Do not throw the Hail Mary. Throw 10-yard. Make a contact. That's all you want to do at the door. Now, how you do that is very important because if you do this wrong, you're going to create more problems than you came with, okay? And they're going to leave you in a daze. And I've done this before. I've made these mistakes, and my job in this training class is to keep you from making the mistakes that we have made. All right? So we're going to give you a basket. We've got cards. I think Nicole, there they are. They're sitting right up there. And everybody gets a card, for a basket. A card for a basket. All right. So we're going to give you so many cards, and you're going to take so many baskets, and I'll work that math out here in just a minute. All right? So you have a name. You already know their name. So in fact, I think we fixed that problem. And we did. I think we fixed it. Make sure we fix that problem. We did, yeah. You have no name. We're not even going to give you the name. Because what you'll do is you're going to go to the door and say, are you Shauna Jackson? Shauna? Yeah. What are you reading on? I just have this card. Where'd you get that information from? Who are you? I want to know where you got that from. How do you know my name is Shauna Jackson? Well, I know you just moved. How do you know I just moved here? Where did you get it? They're going to fall off the map. You're going to be defensive. My church, where'd your church get this from? I want to know, what's the name of your church? Who's leading this thing? It just falls apart. Because people are being scammed all the time, and they think you're a scammer. They think you're there to cheat them. They think you're there to hurt them, okay? And so you have violated their personal information. Although I can, within 5 minutes, probably get everything but your bank account, okay, if I get online. But forget all that, okay? Forget all that, all right? They don't like that. So what we do now is we don't give you the name. You have no idea who this person is. Your job is to get the name. Now, your job is to find out. We already know it, but this is a relationship exercise. This is an exercise, you learning how to talk to people. So when you walk up to the door, right, we're still observing we're still observing the respect and observing the guidelines that we put into place, like you want to compliment them. You're looking for bumper stickers, insignias, flags, cars, flowers, pets, children, something that kind of but I understand that some of you may be talking too much at the door. Remember, your discussion is about 30 seconds to a minute. You do not need to write a novel at the door. All right, there's no need for novels. You don't need to have a 15-minute discussion unless there is a specific need for that discussion. All right, so just a simple hello, have a short discussion, and then go into why you're there. You're holding a basket. They're wanting to know what is that. So I would say something like this. Hey, my name is Rob, my wife Nicole, and this is after the pleasantries are exchanged. We're local Christians, and we brought this basket to welcome you to the community. We understand you just moved here, and we would like to just welcome you. And our church puts this together. And is there anything we can do for you? Do you have any questions about the area? We'd be glad to help you. And just pause and let them talk. Okay, now there's a lot of reactions that can be given, but here's the most common. That was really nice. You would come and do this for me. Thank you so much. And what church are you again from? Or from the Plata Church? Oh, the Plata. Where is that at? So I guess it would probably be a good idea for everybody to memorize where it's at, because they're going to ask you, where is it at? So if you're at Waldorf, you're at 30 Village Street, right across from the Safeway. If you're in La Plata, where are you at?
1 Calvert Street across from the rescue squad.
Say that again.
1 Calvert Street across from the rescue squad.
1 Calvert Street across from the rescue squad. Okay, 1 Calvert Street across from the rescue squad. All right, that's good information to have. All right, so I'm going to let them know that. Okay, and then you might ask again, is there anything you need? And in this case, there's a question you can ask. Hey, have you guys found a church home? And no, but hey, I tell you what, there's some information, house to house, is in the bag about our church in this bag. And if you'd like just to, and in fact, if it's okay with you, we might send a few invitations to church. Oh, that'd be fine. Now, what was your name again? Okay, if you get a reaction like that, that is exactly what we want. Okay, because they've exchanged information, they've given you names, right? And now we're going to, guess what we're going to do with that? Guess what we're going to send them? Invitation cards from the church, 2 to 3 a day from the church. We're going to send welcome to the community, invite them to church. So we're going to follow it up with cards from the church. So we're compounding the love. We start with a gift, which they have received with warmth. Now we compound it. We're passing out these invitations to come and be with us. It is a very pleasant experience. Each week in Reaching the Lost, and who got Reaching the Lost in their inbox yesterday? It was late. Who got it in their email? Okay, you should be getting Reaching the Lost if you scan that QR code. If you did not do that, you did not get it. You want it. You want it. Read it. I know Tucker gets it. And what you do is you read it, and you'll see how many people become Christians because of a new mover basket. I would not be doing this if it didn't work. So I know that this right here works. It's pleasant. Now, what other reactions could you get? Okay, you could get the reaction as soon as you identify that this is from your church, and you pause. They say, I appreciate that, but I already have a church home. And what do you do when someone says, I already have a church home? You could do, what church is it? And you could sit there and try to argue with them. Don't do that. Okay, they have made their choice. Let them make their choice. The reason I say that is because I have rarely experienced a good result from doing that. It's almost unheard of. So I'm just saying, go to the next house. They've already made their choice. You can say, well, there's some information about the church in there if you'd like to look at it, but we just wanted to welcome. They're going to say, oh, thank you. Then they might say, no, we'd rather give this to somebody else. Okay, and just take it. That's not a contact. Those two are not contact. Don't come back and say, I got to contact Miss Nicole. No, you do not. Okay, we're not going to, there's no sense of pouring more resources into that because they shut the door. They said, I'm not interested. If a person's not interested, they're just not interested. We are not there to force ourselves on anyone. We respect people's privacy. We respect the decisions they make. All right, we're looking for people who have maybe not chosen a church home and are willing to consider, the love that you're offering. So those are responses. Rarely does it get ugly. I mean, it's so rare, I'm not even going to mention it, all right, because you're getting like a 75-80% good response rate on this. So it's important to remember a few of these guidelines. So what is the purpose of new movers? To get a what? Yeah. You say, well, I've got a contact. No, you don't. That's not a contact. You give me a name. That's when I know it's a contact. And if it's a few, we'll put them on the few board. By the way, Miss Mary was on the few board. That's pretty good, isn't it? We've been praying for Miss Mary, haven't we? And so we'll praise God for that. So we don't know. You know, again, I'm asking you for you to use your intuition, your experience, and evaluate: is this contact? Is this contact on the few board? Okay, that contact card, you don't have to duplicate it. That's a contact card, not like community service where you would, fill out an additional card if that's, a contact beyond the community service sheet. All right, now, trying to think if I'm missing anything. I know I am. So we're going to get into our teams. We're going to assign out everybody some of these baskets. This is our afternoon delivery time. We will have an evening delivery time. So the evening delivery time, we're going to come back to the church. We're going to assemble. We're going to go back out because some of them will not be home. We're going to do this tomorrow again. Tomorrow we'll do it in the morning and the afternoon. We usually have a 3-strike policy. At 3 strikes, we give you another name. We have more names than the 100 we have here. We actually have a room full of stack. So in other words, we give you another name. So starting tomorrow, if you go and they're not there, we'll give you another name. Say, try this. I'm going to take a picture of the card and you go to another address. But for today, we're going to try to deliver to the ones we have. I believe all of these have moved in within the last 90 days, maybe 120. So let's talk about the shadows. The shadows are new movers that have been created, but they're not really new movers. They're shadows, okay? That is going to happen. Even though we're using, listen to this, 17 filters. We filter it 17 different ways. You will get shadows. What's the shadow percentage? The shadow percentage is somewhere around 20-25%. All right, so and who are these people? These are people that have paid off their mortgage. They've had a 911 address change. It's mama that's moved in with their children across the street, okay? And it's people who bought property, okay, recently, and there's no way to filter this out. We do not know. All right. You can put your address into Zillow and see if the house recently sold. And that is a filter they do not use that you can use. But I don't think it makes a difference. In fact, everything I just said makes no difference. Because you are still going to deliver the basket. But we're just going to change the way we do it. So Chuck, here's what we're going to do. We're going to role play a little bit. And you're the guy that's been living here for 20 years. 20 years. You've lived here 20 years. And I think you're a new mover because I have the card. And we're going to role play a little bit how this works. So, what's not here we go. All right. So I'm going to come here, knock on the door, and I'm thinking he's a new mover. My wife's with me, of course. I'm always going to have a child over. Knock on the door and say, "Here, thank you." Open the door. Hey, my name's Rob. I'm just calling. I understand you just moved to the area. We'd like to present you a gift and welcome you to the community.
Thanks, but we've been here for 20 years.
20 years? Man, I'm 20 years too late. Welcome to the community anyway. All right. So we're going to use humor to overcome the awkwardness. Humor is a great way to overcome an awkward situation. All right. He'll laugh. He'll take the basket. And I said, I'm not sure how I messed that up, but man, I'm just glad I got to meet you. And so you've lived here 20 years. Wow. I'm not sure how this happened, but you can just have a conversation with them. Yeah, and you say, well, our church puts these together. We deliver, and oh, would you have a church home? Just check. Probably do, but if they don't, you may not. We have created contacts doing that, okay, and it works. But if I go to the door, and that happens, and I do not know how to handle it, okay, I'm going to start foaming at the mouth, and I'm going to, and it's going to be bad, okay? So say, whatever they say, I'm 10 years too late, 5 years too late. I'm welcome to the community anyway. That's the best response. Eric, do you have another response that you use? Yeah, it works. It works. It's a great, and they'll laugh, you'll laugh. And so we take awkward, using humor, we get over it. So I'm hesitant to say get on Zillow and figure it out. I'd rather you just go to the house because that's a contact anyway, and you still may make a contact. Yes, ma'am.
Yesterday, we said that if we go into the upscale neighborhoods and offer the community service, that sometimes they don't like.
That's
it.
right.
Are we going into upscale neighborhoods with this, and will they like it?
Yeah, we haven't had any resistance from social class demographics on this because it's an act of kindness. It's not an act of benevolence. It's like saying welcome to the community, whether you give them a teddy bear or whatever it is. It's not. We're not giving it because of a social economic status. We're giving it because we're welcoming. It's more of a welcoming gift into the community. So we haven't had that issue. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that's not been an issue so far. That was a great question, a really good question. If you go to a gated community, obviously you cannot get in. We do the $10 gift cards. If you go to one of the communities where they were throwing a fit because we didn't have a soliciting permit, I can say this is not soliciting. You are not soliciting. You are giving someone and welcoming a neighbor to the community. We have never had any issues with that. Even with law enforcement, they say, oh, okay, we didn't know. We're not trying to join them up. Yes, sir.
That same community that kicked us out, Eric and I have delivered new move access there, we have problems.
Yeah. You're not walking up and down the street. They don't see you walking up and down the street, so they're not going to get on Facebook, the social community Facebook page. We got people here, they're violating the HOA, That's what they're doing, by the way. They are doing that. There is a local community book page. They're taking your picture. They're telling everybody about it. They're riling up the people. This is what they do. They won't even know because you're going to pull into the driveway. Eric.
Also, these people are on our Google because we're writing and sending things to them already. Those people whose house that we go to will have
It's random.
received a newsletter and a call before we show.
That's right.
It's kind of cool content.
Yeah, these aren't cold contacts. This is not random solicitation. This is specific with a name. We're delivering something to their home. Okay, that's what we're doing. Yes.
If we get there, they ask us, hey, how's your neighbors? Like, how do you respond to that?
It's a good question. I don't normally get that question because of the way I approach it. Okay, if I approached it like I did the one time, I'm going to get that question. So normally I say we are Christians working in this community from the Waldorf or La Plata Church of Christ. When they hear that, they're probably not going to say anything else. Okay, and if they say if you're going to have a discussion that says I'm from Henderson, Tennessee. How do you do? I said, well, the church, we're working with the church and they're asking us to meet people who are new to the community. Well, how did you get that information? I don't really know. I'm just here to welcome you. And you don't know. You have no idea where we get it from. I'm not telling you. So there's a reason I'm not telling you. So you can honestly say, I don't know. All right? All right, yes, sir.
So what Eric said about, these people who already received house-to-house
Yeah.
card, they've gotten the postcard, is that true also of the Waldorf?
Yep,
congregation?
both
So
of them. Both of them. They've already got the house-to-house. They've already gotten the postcard. They've already been welcomed. So if you have any issues with La Plata, just call what we were calling Tim yesterday. Who do we need to call today? Which one of you want to give your numbers out? If they have any issues. Yesterday we would call Tim if they had any issues. You mind, David, sharing your number? Everybody listen. If you're in La Plata, call David. Here is his number. Go ahead, David.
240
240
210
210
24
2486. 2486. All right, thank you, David. Thank you, David. So that way, if there is an issue, you can call and, Dave will give you some instructions on kind of what to do and how to handle it. Should not be, I just can't even think of a time I've had a problem with new movers. But I want to make sure we cover all the bases. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything about new movers. Yes, sir.
We got a lot of people that move from across the country, but there are some people that buy a house in a different neighborhood.
That's right.
What's the church?
That's right. So that's why I said it's not 100%. They may have moved across the street, You know, in that case, you say, well, I'm 20 years too late. Welcome to, yeah. So it's the same thing. That's right. That's right. If you run into someone who speaks Spanish, you don't speak Spanish, there is a translation app on your phone that you can use. And we also have Diego here, and he can help. And we have other Spanish-speaking. Melvin is Spanish-speaking, right? I mean, Melvin speaks really good Spanish. Crecia speaks very good Spanish. And so, yes, sir, Jamel.
That's a good question. We're not leaving these at the house.
Thank you. That's why I need help. No. Thank you, Jamel. We do not leave these at the house. If we get the three-strike policy, we're just going to give you another name. All right? So we're not leaving these at the house, no. And I would recommend you don't ever leave things at the house because the percentage of success is like statistical noise. So that, there's some things we don't do. It's not a sin. It's like, is it a good allocation of resources? If you did this at your place of employment, they'd fire you for that. They would say you're wasting money. So we don't leave it at the door. Very good. All right. Any other questions, comments regarding new movers? Jared, is there something I've missed, son? Jared's done a lot of new mover work. He does it. He puts his business card in, his lawn service in when he goes to the door. I can't tell you how many customers he's picked up through the years doing this. So any case,
Going to college.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so we won't be going back to the college. Jared just said no more going to the college. So we want to make sure that for some reason, I'll find out later, you can continue to go to Chick-fil-A. You can continue to go to Starbucks and Zaxby's and all the other places. So when you run out of time, you just go there. You can have supper. We're going to meet back here. It says 6 o'clock. We'll do 6 o'clock, okay? If it changes, I'll let you know. And then we're going to reassemble. By the way, when you come back, you are to bring your baskets back here, put them back on the stage. Do not keep them in your car. Why? We need to count. We need to know how. So I know I've got 100 baskets here, so I need to know how many of them have come back. And that helps us as we organize. So let's go ahead and get into our teams. Then we'll do some calculations on how many. And then we'll talk a little bit about community service, which we will be doing as well. All right, go ahead and get your teams, team leaders.